Welcome back to the PartyPoker.com Aussie Millions. Now let's take a look at the structure for this year's tournament. We start with 418 players, each putting up $10,000 for the buy-in. The total prize pool is over $3 million with a payout to the top 48 places. Well, Michael, we've been talking about the great players all along, and of course Australia has its own, but I have to tell you, if I were sitting at a table with Phil Ivey, I'd not only be chewing my nails, I'd be down about the first knuckle at this point.
You know, even though we still have hundreds of players left in this tournament, guys like Phil Ivey tend to attract the attention of all their competitors. It's almost like being at a golf tournament when Tiger Woods is playing. Everybody keeps one eye on the leaderboard, and right now, although it's early on, nobody wants Phil Ivey to start to run away with this tournament. He's dangerous with a few chips, and he's even more dangerous when he's got a lot of chips.
Yeah, we always talk about closers in boxing. Phil Ivey, great closer. Let's look at the chip count. With that last hand you just saw, Phil Ivey has taken over the chip lead at this table. Jerry Fitt, though, is still right there. 268,000. Kenneth James hanging around as well. It's Daniel Cairns and Aaron Davis who are on the bubble down at the bottom.
And being at the bottom is never a good place to be, but particularly in one of these big tournaments because there's like a roving bullseye that goes around the table and it tends to stick to the guy with the shortest stack.
Well, Jerry Fitt has made a nice little comeback here.
One thing I like about Fitt is that although he took that big loss in that huge confrontation with Phil Ivey, his outward demeanor seems to be very calm and centered.
See if Plum goes with him here. He will.
1,000 more to call.
Oh, man. This is exactly what the short stack Cairns needed.
All in.
He just throws his hands up, says all in.
What am I going to do?
Yeah.
I've got to play the pocket rockets.
Yeah.
And this is actually a pretty easy call for Jerry Fitt, simply because his opponent only has an additional 23,000. The pair of jacks figures to be a favorite against a lot of hands.
I'm all in.
And the ones that it's not, he still has a fighting chance with the pot odds he's getting. He moves all in. And here's the confrontation. And whoops, Fitt finds one of the three hands that jacks are in fact an underdog to.
So Cairns can smile and Fitt can only say, I'm not running in great luck right now.
Fitt is hoping for a fish hook right in the lip. Another jack on the board.
Didn't happen. Pair of eights and a queen.
Real nice flop for the short stack Cairns.
And a 4 on the turn.
One of the two remaining jacks.
Hoping against hope as a 7 of spades comes up on the river, and Cairns will double up through Jerry Fitt. So Cairns now with twice the chips he had just a moment ago. He's going to be around for a little bit longer, it seems. We take you outside now to a little bit of bonus coverage. Mick Stanton, you're looking at him right there against Julius Coleman.
The dreaded aces versus king matchup.
What do you think I got, Gaz? You're too smart. You're too smart, Vincent.
Aces versus kings here.
Nothing there.
Keep him light, Peter. Keep him light, Pete. Keep him light, Pete. He wasn't even breathing. He wasn't breathing, Gary.
Yeah, guys tend to get excited when their aces actually hold up.
Well, he's still going to be hanging around here as he wins that hand. His aces hold up, and we're coming back right after this. Welcome back to the PartyPoker.com Aussie Millions. Barry Tompkins, Michael Koenig alongside. We're at the Crown Casino. This tournament continues, and there is no form to hold right now, although that guy right there, Phil Ivey, is our chip leader at this table. Got some competition here. Kenneth James going to get rid of that. Kathy Liebert as well, and Plum not going to play the 7-5. Cairns just doubled up a moment ago. Not this time.
Call. Option.
Grillman would like to have that hand over at the blackjack table.
Plus 5,000. Raise 5,000.
But he is in the small blind. It will just cost him half a bet. However, Jerry Fitt in the big blind behind him raises the price 5,000 more, and Grolman says, okay, I'll double down.
Hoping for a 10. On the flop, ace 6, 10.
It has actually improved its bottom pair,
10,000. 10,000.
but he acted before the flop as though he did have something like an ace in his hand, and Grolman believes him.
Yep, good enough to win.
Found someone I can beat.
So Jerry Fitt has been playing very steadily here and didn't get down when he lost that huge hand we saw a few moments ago to Phil Ivey. Bonus coverage now. Paul Ginfrito is all in against Cody Slambo. You got to like a guy named Slambo, don't you?
Yes. Yes.
Well, Mr. Gianfrido cannot keep a poker face. You know, as we get closer to that big prize at the end of the tournament, those emotions tend to be worn on the sleeve, especially when you're Italian.
Meanwhile, back at our main table,
2,000 to call.
play has been very good at this table. Kenneth James looking at 9-7.
You'll realize those things someday. Oops.
Is that a toupee?
Huh?
Is that a toupee? Seriously?
That what?
Is that a toupee?
He's begging at me, man. What I do? Uh-oh.
Yeah,
No,
it's
right?
very rare
It's
to
not,
actually
right?
see Kenneth James
It's
without
not.
a cowboy hat on, and Phil Ivey wanted to know if that was a hairpiece, because I don't think Phil's actually ever seen hair on Kenneth's
Yeah, I
head.
didn't wear my shirt today, my real shirt. I got this shirt at home. It's called Filibuster.
Drew a smile from Phil Ivey. That's something you don't see very much at a poker table either. Ivey the favorite here. King ace 3.
Picked up 150,000.
Check.
And both Ivey and Grolmund have picked up flush draws. Grolmund better hope he doesn't make a flush.
Yes.
Check or bet.
10 on the turn.
They both have an inside straight draw as well.
That's 6,000.
6,000 from Phil Ivey.
Ivey needs Grolman's jack, and Grolman needs Ivey's queen. They're hoping to... Oh, and look at this. The nut flush for Phil Ivey. Grolman has a flush too, and there's only one flush that can beat him, and Ivey's got it.
Yep.
That's 20,000.
And he bets 20,000 into Grolman. Really puts the pressure on him. Grolman going all in.
Now, it's not an instant call for Phil Ivey because although he has the nut flush, he doesn't have the nut hand. The nut hand here would be aces full. Or, in fact, 4 aces. But practically speaking, it's not out of the question that Grolman could have an ace 3, an ace 10, an ace king here. Unlikely, given what has happened before, but not out of the question. So Phil Ivey wants to think about this before he puts in the rest of the chips. It's a tough decision. Nut flush is real tough to lay down, but there is the full house possibility. And it sort of becomes a math game here. Phil Ivey only needs to put in another 36,000, and he's going to call, and he's going to be happy.
He is, and he is going to be happy. And Grolman, of course, is going to have to walk. Oh, how'd that feel? Well, there's the picture telling 1,000 words on both sides. So Dan Grolman can only look down and think about wouldas and couldas and shouldas because he is gone from this competition. A little tough to get up and walk after that kind of beat, but he shakes hands. Phil Ivey does not change expression. They come and they go in the world of Phil Ivey, and in this case, Dan Grolman is gone. You're watching the PartyPoker.com Aussie Millions. We're coming back. Welcome back to the PartyPoker.com Aussie Millions. You know, when we had a chance to visit the Crown Casino back in January of 2006, we got a little taste of Japan as we went to Coco, one of Melbourne's finest teppanyaki restaurants. With dining rooms overlooking the Yarra River and the Melbourne skyline, Coco provides a dramatic setting for its authentic and refined Japanese culinary experience. Located on the 3rd level of the Crown Towers, Breeze's proximity to the spa and swimming pool makes it the perfect place to settle in for a relaxing lunch or dinner, featuring Melbourne's finest seafood infused with French provincial flavors. Breeze's provides a light, warm, breezy dining experience. I felt breezy when we were there, didn't you?
You know, I don't think you've really lived until you've had grilled kangaroo.
I think that's absolutely true. You got to keep it on the plate, though. You know, just keep moving around.